Hello children, welcome back. We were discussing the chapter Separation of Substances, and in the previous slides we have discussed why separation is required and some methods of separation like handpicking, threshing, winnowing and sieving. Today we will continue with some other methods. So let's get started. Sedimentation and decantation. So when is this method followed? The method of sedimentation and decantation is followed in order to separate the insoluble solids from the liquids. And it is based on the fact or the difference in the weight of the different components. Okay, now first of all, let us understand the meaning of sedimentation and decantation. Then we will understand the process. Now what is sedimentation? The settling down of the heavier particles at the bottom. We know that already we have discussed the concept of floating and sinking. The heavier particles, they sink or they get settled at the bottom. So that is called sedimentation. And the process of pouring the upper clear liquid into another container. That is why the name decantation is given. The can is a container and we are emptying that can into another container. So that is why the name decantation is given here. So to understand the concept of sedimentation and decantation, we'll have to perform a simple activity. What you have to do is, in a beaker, we can take a mixture of sand and water. So try and use a beaker which is of glass so that you can easily see the results. Now what you have to do is you have to allow it to stand undisturbed for some time. Means you don't have to touch it again and again. Just keep it aside for a while. Then after some time you will observe that the sand particles have settled down at the bottom of the beaker and a layer of clear water is formed above it. Now what you have to do next is slowly pour the upper layer into another container or another beaker, and while doing so, take care of the fact that sediment of sand is not disturbed. So this is the whole process. You can see here what we have done. We have taken a beaker, we have dissolved sand and water over here, and you can see the sand is settled at the bottom. So the particles which are settled at the bottoms, they are known as sediments, and the liquid above it is known as supernatant. What we have to do is we have to pour the supernatant into another container, and that is called decantation, and then the solid will be left in the another container. Next step is filtration. Now when is filtration method is used? This method is also used for separation of insoluble solid particles from liquid. As in the case of sedimentation and decantation, similarly filtration is also used for this for the separation of insoluble solid particles from liquid. And then again, see, the two methods are used for the same purpose. So when filtration will be more fruitful to use, it will be more suitable if the size of the solid particles is very small. Okay, and here what happens, here the whole mixture is allowed to pass through a filter. Now what is filter? Again, we must understand a filter first. So what is filter? Filter is basically a medium with very fine pores. Okay, so what will happen? The fine pores will allow the fine particles to pass through and the heavier particles will be left in the filter paper itself. Okay, so the insoluble solid particles which will not be able to pass through the pores or which will be retained by the pores, these are known as residue. Residue का मतलब होता है something which is left behind or which is not able to pass. Okay, and the clear liquid जो नीचे pores से pass हो जाएगा, that will be called filtrate. Commonly used filters are a piece of muslin or malmal cloth and filter paper. Okay, so here's a simple activity again to demonstrate the process of filtration. What we have to do is the aim or the objective of this activity is to obtain clear water from muddy water. Okay, same thing we have taken here as well. Now what are the requirements? We require muddy water, beakers, funnel, glass rod, filter paper and sand. So children, when the school will reopen, we'll conduct this activity there only. Okay, so now what is the procedure? Let us understand it. We have to set up the funnel on the stand. Okay, there will be a stand and we have to set up the funnel. We have to fix that funnel into the stand and then keep a beaker below it. We'll show that in another diagram. And then you have to make a filter paper. How you are going to make a filter paper so that it gets fitted in the funnel? The process is given over here. Okay, so you have to make it that way. What you will see in this diagram, you can see there is a stand, and then you have fixed a funnel in the stand, and on the bottom of that you have put a beaker over there. Okay, and then you have made a paper funnel, so you have to paper filter, and then you have to place that filter paper in the funnel. Okay, place the paper cone in the funnel, and now you have to pour the muddy water into the funnel with the help of glass rod and collect the filtrate in a beaker. We have already discussed what a filtrate is. Okay, the filtrate is the particles which will travel down the pores of the filter paper. So we have collected that filtrate in the beaker, and then you will open the filter paper and you will observe its content. So the beaker below the funnel, it will contain clear water without any impurities or the mud particles, और जो सारे के सारे mud particles होंगे, they will be retained on the filter paper itself. So it's an important or effective method to purify water. Filtration techniques is used in many places. Process is evaporation and condensation. Now let us again first understand the meaning of these processes. Okay, what is evaporation? Evaporation means the conversion of liquid into gas form. Okay, that is called gas, or the vapor state is called evaporation. Normally in nature, the process of evaporation takes place very slowly. Okay, now you might be wondering that where does the process of evaporation takes place normally? Okay, one common example you have already understood, or you must have read about water cycle, right? In that also we have seen that the water in the sea, rivers, it gets evaporated by the heat of the sun and then converted into vapors. That is evaporation. Other than that, where can you see evaporation going on? Suppose you are wiping the floor of your house. After some time it gets dried up. This is because of evaporation. The clothes that we wash, they get dried up after some time. This is also because of evaporation. So the process, it takes place slowly. But how can we increase the rate or the speed of this process? By increasing the temperature. Okay. Then what we can do, suppose we are having a mixture of liquid and solid. Okay, we are having a mixture of liquid and solid. So we can separate it by evaporation, because the liquid part will evaporate or will convert into vapors, and the remaining will be left behind. Okay, and the process of conversion of that vapors, again we need that also in another container. We have to separate both the components. So what we will do, the vapors that are converted, the water that is converted into vapors, it will be again converted into liquid by the process of condensation. For this, again, an activity, what we have to do is we have to take a beaker and fill it with salt solution. Okay, salt solution, you know how to prepare a salt solution. You have to put in salt and water and then mix it thoroughly. Now your aim is to separate the salt and water. Okay, you know that salt and water, out of salt and water, the water will evaporate and the salt will be left behind. So let's go through this process. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to keep the beaker on a burner and heat it. Okay, you have kept the beaker in the burner and then heat it. So what you will observe, after some time you will see that the water evaporates and the white residue is left behind. The water vapors, the water which is being converted into vapors, it will be collected by keeping a plate. Now this is also an interesting thing to do. What we have to do is we don't have to lose that vapor. Okay, so what we have to do, we'll keep the steel plate in the direction of the vapor, and then on the another side of the steel paper we'll keep some ice. Why? Now what will happen? After the hot steam will come in contact with the ice or the cold, so it will convert those vapors into liquid again, and that liquid can again be collected in another beaker. Okay, so the water vapors, they can be collected by keeping a plate containing ice tilted over the beaker, and the water vapors on striking the cold surface of the plate will condense to form water, which can be collected in a beaker. When you taste this white substance, again you can see the white substance which is left out in the beaker, it is salt. So in this way we have separated both the salt and water from the salt solution. We have discussed the term solution everywhere. So let's understand what a solution is. Solution means a mixture of two or more substances. Simply, it is called solution. Now in solution, two components or more than two components are present. So we must understand what these components are. The components which are present in smaller amounts, they are known as solute, and the component present in larger amount is known as solvent. Like in the case of salt solution, the salt is added in the salt that is added. It is added in smaller quantity, so that will be called solute, and the medium in which it is added, which is of in larger amount, it is called solvent. Now, on the basis of the quantity of the solute and solvent, we have categorized the solution into two categories, that is saturated and unsaturated. Okay, now saturated solution and unsaturated solution, it can be best understood with the help of an example. Suppose we'll take the example of salt solution only. Now you are having a tumbler or a glass simply and full of water. Okay, now you'll simply start adding salt into it. Okay, just start with 1 spoon at once. So when you will add 1 spoon and then start dissolving it, it will dissolve completely. After some time, again add 1 spoon. Now repeat this process after some time, then you will observe a point of time will come when the salt will not be able to get dissolved. So that solution is known as saturated solution, in which no more amount of solute can be added to the solvent. Okay, that is called saturated solution. And unsaturated solution, when some more amount of solute can be added or can be dissolved in a particular solvent. Now, in some cases, till now we have discussed that we use only one type of method for the separation technique, like hand picking or filtration, sieving. Now, in some cases, we require more than one method of separation. Okay. Now, suppose let's take the example of separation of mixture of salt and sand. You are given a mixture, so will it be able to separate it with hand picking? No, because these are both are fine in nature, fine particles. You can't separate them easily through hands. Okay, then sieving method, again it is not possible because both are fine in nature, so both will cross the sieve. So here we'll require more than two methods. First of all, what we need to do is we have to keep this mixture in a beaker and we'll take the help of water. Now we'll add water into it. Again, what we have to do, we have to leave the beaker aside for some time, and after some time what you will see, the sand will be settled at the bottom. Being heavier in nature, the question might arise in your mind that in this mixture salt is also there, so why the salt is not dissolved or why the salt is not settled at the bottom? Because salt is soluble in water but sand is not. Okay, so salt is already soluble in water, it has got dissolved with water, but the sand particles, they will be settled at the bottom, and then, as we have already discussed, they will be separated by the method of either decantation or filtration. Now we have a decanted liquid. It consists of two things still. What are they? Water and salt. Already we have discussed. Now this water and salt mixture, it will be separated through the process of evaporation and condensation. Here what we can do, we can transfer this liquid into a kettle or a beaker and then close the lid and start heating it. After some time, we will observe that the steam will be coming out of the spout of the kettle. Spout means mouth of the kettle. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to take a metal plate with some ice on it. So when the steam will come in contact with the ice plate, the liquid will get condensed, and then we have to collect that liquid in another beaker. So in this way, what we have done, we have separated salt, sand and water using the process of decantation, filtration, evaporation and condensation. So this you can see. That's all for today, children. Thank you so much. This is the end of the chapter. Go through both the videos for understanding the topics. Thank you so much.